This is something that I know a lot of you have been waiting for an update on, so I wanted to make this video walking you through how the flight stand adapter works and why I went with the design that I did. This is the flight stand adapter that I designed, and yeah, it looks a little weird and it's not very clear how it works. This is how it works. When you look at the flight stand adapter, you have these two grips on the back and then these two braces on the front. What you want to do is you want to place the bottom lip of the back of the board between the two grips on the back, and then the rest of the board rests between the bracers on the front. Now what you're going to want to do is take the back end of the flight stand adapter and slide it towards either edge of the board. As you slide it towards either side, it will form a tight clamping grip that will hold the board in place. Because this does use a clamping design that clamps plastic against plastic, there is a potential for paint rub to occur where the points of contact exist. One of my earlier designs actually had a slightly different grip, and it immediately gouged the plastic. I've changed it since then to prevent that, but there's always going to be a potential for paint rub where you have plastic gripping other painted plastic. So that is something you should be aware of if you're going to use these. Why did I go with a design that uses a grip like this versus other designs like something that it would just sit on top of or something that would plug into the bottom of the board? There's several reasons. The first being that the bottom of the board is not conducive to plugging something into it. The actual edges where the lip meets the bottom of the board, they're a little rounded and there's just not a whole lot of opportunity to grip there. The other problem is that a lot of these are coming curved in the packaging, which is pretty typical for thin Hasbro accessories and a whole lot of other stuff. So something that it just sits on wouldn't be as reliable because a lot of the boards are warped. The other design options also weren't able to perform upward and downward poses at the efficiency that a design that offered a firm grip would be able to. The design does work. It's easy to use, it provides a nice firm grip, and it will allow you to perform a variety of flight poses. The only point where we're running into some issues now is incredibly deep vertical flight poses are difficult to do because the point of failure becomes the figure itself. With there only being one attachment point to the board, everything comes down to that ankle joint being able to keep everything going. And when you go incredibly steep on a vertical pose, that ankle joint has a tendency to fail because it's not strong enough to keep everything up. So the figure goes toppling off and it takes everything with it. That part of this is unfortunately outside of my control, so there's nothing I can do about it. For compatibility, these do work with Tamashii flight stands and Ibitsu flight stands. If you're using any other type of flight stand, you are using the wrong type of flight stands because those are the two best options you have. That's about it for these, so if you guys are interested in these, then let me know.